Hello, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Today I want to share with you 5 of my favorite apps for studying Japanese. Apps are a great way to supplement and form a part of your study, but shouldn't be your only means of studying. I mean, unless you're an advanced like a JLPT N1 to 2 level learner whose main focus is immersion into native content, but even then, using a variety of content like reading books, articles, watching TV, etc. is gonna be important too. Without further ado, let's get started. The first app I want to recommend to you is Anki. It's basically a flashcard app that uses a learning methodology called general space repetition to help you learn vocabulary. To explain it simply, by reviewing the cards in set intervals, which start out shorter and gradually become longer as you remember the material, it helps you better retain information over an extended period of time. This app is going to be your best friend for kanji and vocabulary. It is going to serve you from the very beginning. Right from day one, you can use Anki decks to help you memorize hiragana and katakana all the way through to fluency and beyond when you're learning more complex kanji. I recently found out that there are many variations of the Anki app and not just one, but they should all use the same spaced repetition learning method, so just go through them and have a look for which one you like. I personally use this one and I like to make my own decks. So these are the decks that I have at the moment. They're based on vocabulary that I learned from textbooks, shows, and books, etc. Doing that will also help you to remember by associating the words with memories and how you saw them being used. I think there's a term for that, but I can't quite think of it off the top of my head. Anyways, the second app you'll need is a good kanji dictionary. I use this kanji lookup app. Oftentimes you'll come across kanji without furigana on it, so being able to search it up without knowing how to read it yet can be really useful. So once you search the kanji, it'll come up with its general meaning, the readings of the kanji, as well as various other ways it's used. From here, you can easily add the term that you just learned into your Anki deck. I feel like there's a lot of debate on how to study kanji, like should you memorize all the onyomi and kunyomi, etc. I personally feel like it's easier to learn the different readings as you come across them, rather than trying to memorize all the different readings and combinations that it comes in. You'll come to naturally grasp which reading of the kanji to use in different contexts as you see it being used more. So don't worry about trying to memorize each and every single way that it's pronounced. The third app I want to recommend is Spotify. This app is going to be so useful for improving your listening, because you're going to use Spotify to listen to Japanese music and Japanese podcasts. There are a lot of great podcasts out there for Japanese learners, ranging from beginner to fluent. I'm going to tag a few of my favorite ones down below in the description. In the beginning, I was listening to them almost every day, and while it was really challenging at first, I found that after the first few weeks and with consistent studying, I was actually getting better at processing what was being said, and with consistent studying, I found that my own speaking was improving because I was able to pick up on the speech style, pronunciation, and pitch accent of the Japanese hosts. And it will help you immensely in getting used to what Japanese sounds like, giving you a general idea of the pacing of Japanese, although keep in mind this will depend on your level, because sometimes podcast hosts speak slower for easier understanding, as well as giving you an idea of what processing Japanese in your mind is like. You'll find that the more you listen to it, the easier it'll be and faster you'll get at processing it in your mind without spending too much time to think about what was just said. Music is also a good way to learn, and there's lyrics on Spotify, so you can use those to check your understanding too. The fourth app you'll need is Netflix. The reason I chose Netflix specifically is not only because they have tons of Japanese shows on it, but also because you have the option of watching them with Japanese subtitles. I haven't tried any other streaming platforms, but I personally love using Netflix for native input. Anime is also an option, although I would recommend watching dramas instead, because sometimes the speech styles that appear in anime can be really vulgar, exaggerated, or just unrealistic depending on the genre.
俺たちの邪魔すんなっつってんだよ。下手くそ。心臓捧げよう。
Let's be real, who is ever going to say that in real life? Japanese subtitles are so great because you get to learn kanji while watching. Sometimes you can't always hear clearly what the characters are saying, so subtitles will take the confusion out of trying to guess what was just said, and then you can write that kanji into your dictionary and look up what was just said. And then you can put it like that into your Anki deck and you have it remembered in no time. And by watching shows in a variety of genres like crime, medical, slice of life, etc., you'll be able to learn a lot of different types of words. Are you starting to see how all of these apps just work so well together for studying? The final app I want to recommend to you is italki. This one is optional but recommended, especially if you don't have any other way of getting conversation practice. You can have a look through and find a native Japanese tutor that suits your needs and budget. You can only speak to yourself so much, and sooner or later you're going to have to speak to an actual person if you want to keep improving. So those are the 5 apps that I recommend for Japanese learners. You've probably noticed that all of these apps are just supplementary and not actually language learning apps. The reason being, language learning apps that are game-based and rely on multiple choice answers or flashcards for you to learn rarely explain grammar or context properly. I'm looking at you, Duolingo. There is no one magic app, textbook, or study method that will take you from 0 to fluent. Something like that simply doesn't exist. Using a combination of different resources will help you to build up all of your language skills in reading, writing, speaking, and listening, which are necessary for you to achieve fluency. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!